Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Alec with Atlas here at Community Transit. I'm your fitness specialist, and today I will be taking you through an upper body workout, which I've designed. I hope everything's going well with you. If you're tuning in live, feel free to drop some questions into the chat bar as we go along. I'll try to keep track of that as we're going. If you're watching it on delay, if you have any questions about this workout, and you feel like you just don't know what's going on or need some more personalized guidance, feel free to just hit pause, reach out to me, and we can find ways to make this work for you. But today we're just going to go through a handful of exercises in what's called a compound set format, meaning we are going to be going through exercises back to back with the idea that they're going to start hard and get kind of easier as they go, with the idea of kind of maximally fatiguing the muscle groups before taking kind of a rest break to get back to 100%. So if that all makes sense, I will be demoing everything as we go and kind of explaining it as we go along. So hopefully it'll be fairly straightforward. So let's just get started with a warm up here. So we are going to start with arm circles. Best to do for these exercise sessions, kind of, sometimes I forget to point this out. It's best to have about a kind of 6 to 7 foot cube or box. If you can, just so that, like, for example, while I'm doing these arm circles, I'm not worried about hitting anything, having kind of space issues. So switch the circles, getting in plank and push-up positions, being able to walk on all fours, things like that. Best to have about 6 to 8 feet minimum for a square or cube. So just try to move some furniture, find some space to make this all work. All right, we're going to switch and do big circles now. Other way. Should start to feel your shoulders getting pretty warm here. And then let's take our hands, clasp them behind your back, press down so your chest is starting to expand, just like so. And then once you're there, you can slowly drop ear to a shoulder. No pulling with the hands or anything, just kind of let it rest, let gravity do its thing. If you want to add to this stretch, right now I'm looking forward with my ear to my shoulder. You can look down, get your gaze towards your hip pocket. That'll help stretch shoulder blade muscles a little bit more. Round it over to the other side. Same idea, just let gravity do its thing. If you want to make the stretch a little bit stronger, just think about pushing your hands downward towards the floor. Let the stretch go that way, and then drop your gaze down to your pocket. Good. Last thing we'll do for the warm-up, we're going to get in quadruped. That's hands and knees. Have palms down like so. What we are going to do is, again, wrists stacked underneath shoulders, knees stacked underneath hips. I'm going to hold this neutral position. I'm going to keep my elbows straight the whole time. I'm going to drop my chest down towards the floor, kind of letting my shoulder blades kind of come together. This is kind of a slack position. The only thing that's still staying firm and sturdy is that elbow. You're not letting the arms bend. You're keeping that straight, but you're kind of falling down in between here. And shooting up, pushing your shoulder blades apart, pushing the palms of your hands down, pressing the back of your upper back and rib cage towards the sky, compacting your chest, and then back down. We don't want to round our lower back. We're still going to stay flat there. We're just pressing from our palms and our chest, just like that. Dropping it down, pressing up. This movement is actually going to be very important for today, kind of disconnecting what happens at our arms from what happens at our torso. So elbows are staying straight, dropping down from the chest. So our shoulder blades are loose floating structures from our rib cage. They only attached by soft tissue, allowing us a lot of range of motion, even without using our arms. It's pretty cool. couple more of those. All right. Hopefully arms and shoulders feel a little bit more warm after that. So again, we're doing 4 rounds of a compound set. So we are going to do push-ups, followed by a modified push-up called a press-up, which is going to target back of your arm muscles a little bit more. And then after that, we are going to get into a plank, where we're going to go through that press-up motion. So we're isolating smaller and smaller muscle groups as we go along. And so we're going to go 1 straight through to the 3rd, and then we will take a rest break from there to let all the muscle groups recover so we can go back to the top. We're going to do 4 sets of those. Then we're going to work on polishing off the smaller muscle groups, predominantly on our back after that, and then we're going to call it a day. So I've got a timer here. It'll keep us on track while we're going. Let me just give you a quick demo of the exercises we're going to be doing, and then we will hop into it. So, oh, hey, how's it going, everyone? Looks like we got a couple people on the live stream right now. I'm switching between 2 screens. The screen that helps me watch in real time doesn't let me look at the chat, so I'm going to be popping back and forth. If you need anything, though, the sound's on. I can hear you pop in the chat. So, first thing we're going to do is push-ups. So, I'm going to be going from the knee today because I want to make sure all my push-ups are high quality. So, for our push-ups, think about your thumbs being in line with or about an inch wider than this crease in your armpit here. So kind of just like that. Hopefully you can see that fairly well. Not too narrow, also not going too wide. And then with that, try to get your thumb and pointer finger to kind of get the L shape there and have those pointed forward when you're on the ground. That way you're not turning in like this. You're kind of keeping elbows down in this kind of position. So when we do our push-up, we're looking for these kind of angles to be closer to like 30 degrees to 45 degrees, not teeing out wide at a 90-degree angle like that. Also not necessarily pinching your side super hard like some people like to do. Just kind of this even angle here. And then when you get to the ground, you'll notice that your thumb kind of lines up more with your pec line. You're not looking to land your push-ups up here in the shoulder. You're looking more for that pec line. So when I get down here, I'll try to take a step back. I'm lining myself up. So thumb is with that crease right there. Pointer finger forward. Thumb kind of creating that L. Kind of helps me scoop my elbows forward like that. And then as I go down, watch how I'm tracking. And then you can't really see it when I'm touching down, but if you draw a line between my thumbs, it's lining up with my chest like so. So that'll be our push-up. Again, you can go from knees like so there, dropping down. You can pop up, run out of space, and go from feet. You can also, give you a second to find one of these if you need, you can bring something in for a little bit of help. I think a couch, if you have a couch nearby, you take off the cushion and just use the sturdy support underneath, that kind of wood support as a stable platform. That's a great incline push-up to make it a little bit easier for you to get through all the reps. This here, a coffee table, same idea. I can do that from the knees, get through a lot more quality reps without kind of losing myself and kind of doing all these like wonky things. I want to keep from my shoulders to my knee this sturdy board platform, just like that. So find a variation where you are going to be able to get through a full set of 30 seconds worth of push-ups without losing good technique, because that's what we're going for today. 30 seconds push-ups and then 30 seconds for each of the other exercises. So moving on, once we're done with the push-ups, we're going to hop straight in with just a little bit of a transition into what are called press-ups from our elbow. So we're going to get into a plank position with our forearms parallel. So they're not teeing out, they're not super wide like that. They're going to be parallel, just like that, about shoulder distance apart. And we're going to start on our knees, just like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to press into the pad of our hand, press up until our elbows extend, just like that. Slow back down. Press up, slow back down. Similar to a push-up, but really going to target the back of the arm muscles. And this time, instead of being wide, we are going to be in that kind of shoulder distance apart position. To make it a little bit more difficult, You can walk out a bit and really lengthen your lever, or you can go up to the feet like that. Sorry, give me 1 second here. We're getting a little feedback from our live phone. Okay. All right, back to live. So if you want to make that easier in another vein, so lengthening or going to your feet is going to make it much tougher. To make it easier, walk your knees in. You can even go so far as to have your knees parallel or perpendicular to the ground, knees stacked underneath hips. That's really going to shorten the lever to make it a lot easier for you to get through these. Just find the position that you feel is best for you to get through. Again, 30 seconds of good reps without losing form. We don't want, as you're pressing for your elbows, to start teeing out, nor do we want you to have to start leaning to one side to press up because you're not able to do it cleanly. Finally, once we get through those, our last one, we're going to get back into that plank position. Probably best if I show you from the side here. And we are going to go through this motion. So this was in the warm-up, that protraction, retraction, dropping the shoulder blade, pressing it up nice and tall, dropping the shoulder blade, pressing it up nice and tall. This time we're sitting on our elbows. Believe it or not, you're going to get the exact same range of motion you would have from the hands because there's no bend here. So when you're in this position, you're still able to get that full down shoulder blade squeeze, full press, rib cage rising up. Squeeze, rise up. That is going to round it out by getting more intrinsic muscles in the shoulder blade working. If you really want it to be more difficult, you can go from the feet, but just kind of keep in mind after about a minute of push-ups and press-ups, might be a little bit tougher, might be good to start from the knees. So, going to get our handy-dandy timer going here. Again, we are going to go for, let's see, we are going to go for, this is about 4 minutes of work, or 8 minutes of work. Yeah, I get this. Delete. Okay. It's going to be 8 minutes of work, 4 rounds, 2 minutes per round. We're going to get started in about 10 seconds. Again, if you have any questions, need any help as we're going, please reach out. But we're going to get started. All right, in 10 seconds. Find your push-up position. Started in 10. I'll get my sound up so we can all hear this. All right, push-up start.
Push up.
Again, find the one that you can get through without losing your form. We're about halfway there. Take your time. No need to push through a bunch of reps at the beginning. It's going to mean that you can't keep going for the whole 2 minutes. Keep a nice steady tempo.
Press up.
Find that next position, kind of cobra position. Start pressing through the palms. Got 30 seconds of these.
Plank.
Get into that plank position next. Nice and tall. Down and up. Three seconds.
Rest.
All right, first round's done. Hopefully you're able to get through all that just fine. If it was difficult, feel free to find a variation to make it a little bit easier on yourself. Again, if you're going from the feet, switch to the knees. If you're going from the knees, you can try scooting your knees in a little bit or finding something like the coffee table to make it a little bit easier. Again, we got 3 more rounds to get through, so find something that's going to work for you. 3 seconds.
Push up.
All right, let's get going. What I'm doing for mine is I'm starting to do a little bit of a slower tempo on the way down, more control, still driving up with power. So still quality reps, not cheating in any way, but making sure doing less reps so that they're all good.
Press up.
Get down here, pressing up. All right, last one. Down to the plank. Down. Press it up. Just think about this. Nothing's moving but your rib cage. Your arms aren't actually moving. Your rib cage is just going slack. Pressing back up. Your upper body's just kind of floating around there. Everything else is just keeping it in place. It's a lot of work though.
Rest.
All right. Round 2's done. We got one more of those. All right. Hope everyone's hanging in there. We got about 20 seconds. You can get a little bit of water. If you got a water bottle, I'd suggest you get some too. Ten seconds. Into our third set.
Push up.
Ten more seconds.
Press up.
Boy, this one starts to really add up. Especially after those push-ups. Compound sets tend to bring about a lot of muscle fatigue. So make sure you're finding one that you can do well for the
Plank.
whole time. And keep breathing. I always forget to do that.
Rest.
Whew. All right. One more round. One more round of the good stuff. All of it's good. This is the tough stuff. This is the challenge here. The rest is just kind of polishing things up. So if you can get through this last 2 minutes, you've done the bulk of the hard work today. All right, let's do it.
Push up. Press up.
All right. Pressing up.
Plank.
Last one's the plank. Again, good reps. Take your time. A little bit of a victory lap here. You can even just hold this plank, get through the last set. Five seconds.
Rest.
Wow. Surprisingly enough, that last plank really just did a number on my forearms. Oh, that was interesting. Maybe I'm just racing a little too hard. Anyway, so that was that. So again, last thing we're going to do is we're just going to work on polishing up our shoulder blade muscles. I'm going to just tap in here really quick to make sure I have this all set the way I want it for our last exercise. It's really straightforward. I just need a timer to get through 20, and 40. Okay. More. 40. Bear with me. So we do this. And we are good. Okay. So last thing's just shoulder blades. This is going to be a tier where we're going through 4 exercises. Oh, I missed one. And then we are doing a 40-second rest after the 4 exercises. Each of the exercises is only going to be 20 seconds long. So really each one's not going to be too encumbering, but they are going to be working the same muscle groups, similar muscle groups, just like the last one. So keep that in mind. So I will demonstrate and then we'll get after it. Let me get to my screen so I can see I'm doing in real time. Okay, so all these are going to be in a prone position, meaning we're going to be chest to the floor, straight as a plank, and we are going to be doing extension kind of exercises. So we're really going to be squeezing the shoulder blades and expanding the chest. And we are going to be going in different directions to target different muscle groups. You can see all the armpit sweat that I'm getting in here. It's a really well-fit shirt and it absorbs a lot of liquid. So we're going to get down prone position. So if this is uncomfortable for your low back, I suggest lightly squeezing your glutes and also flattening your low back. So no extending, no overly accentuating your upper half to get more range. Really, we're just going to be flat to the ground. Also, if you need something for any discomfort in the neck area while you're doing this, instead of holding your neck up the whole time, like so, which can be a little bit unnecessary, especially if it's causing discomfort back here, you can pop this guy down to the forehead. Still gives you some open space here, but keeps that flat. Might be a little bit more comfortable as we go. So again, glute squeeze will help offload the low back. Pillow will help offload the back of your neck and make that a little more comfortable. So again, we're in this position. We are going to be doing 4 different exercises for 20 seconds apiece. So the first one, I'm going to be here, thumbs to the ground, about 6 inches off of our torso here, 6 inches away from our pockets. And all we are going to do, so if I'm here, my shoulders are suction cupped to the ground. I'm just going to unsuction them. So I'm lightly expanding my chest. And then I'm just going to be going up as much as I can do without letting my shoulders roll forward. So keeping that there, back, up. And I'm just going to be going up. You can see I'm only getting about 3-4 inches off the ground. That's okay because it's isolating the muscles between our shoulder blades in doing so. So we'll do those for 20 seconds. Then we're going to pop forward into a T position with our palms touching the ground. Same idea, unsuction cup, pull apart, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Next, a little more room. We're going to go from here to a Y. So not vertical, not sideways, about 45 degrees, maybe even a little closer to 30 degrees to vertical. We're going to go up and back down. I would suggest, with this one especially, getting about a half second of pause at the end position. Again, not reaching our chest up, but just like that, back down. And pausing just for about a half second, really feeling the low shoulder blade activation, which is required to keep you in that position. Once we've gone through 20 seconds of those. We're going to keep a similar position where we'll go vertical. And then we're going to do, instead of just holding them up vertical, we're going to go back and forth. We're going to keep our arms up for the full 20 seconds, which is going to be a pain since this will be the last in the series before you get a chance to break. But you're keeping chest up lightly, shoulder blades back. You're just going to hold it for 20 whole seconds. And again, we will get a long break after that. We'll get about 30, 40 seconds after that. And we're just going to go for 3 rounds. And that is going to do it for the day. So we'll be going in 10 seconds. Listen for the beeps. I'm just going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get ready.
With you. So we're both working today. So get comfy. Thumbs down. Chest up.
Push up.
Ignore that. Still got the same cues as last time. Bring it out to the side. Heart. Remember to keep that light glute squeeze engaged.
Work.
Wise. I'm doing a double chin. That's help offloading my cervical extensors here by doing a little bit of a double chin. Good cue there is to pretend like you're lightly pinching an orange, something big, so you're not pushing it all the way down, but you're holding it in place, that neutral position.
Work.
All right, so that's our break. So the last little cue that I gave there, if you are in that prone position and you don't have a pillow supporting you, again, I don't want you to be here extended, looking up and forward. I'd like for you to get a light, tall double chin. 2 things I like to think about. If you're thinking like of a marionette, something that has one of those little ropes on top of it, think about it pulling you kind of upward. And then at the same time, think of something like a can of soda, like a navel orange or something right here, that you are kind of pinching with the top of your chin. So you're not pinching it down because it's pretty big. You're just pinching it lightly there.
Push up.
All right, let's get back to it.
Press up.
Doing T's.
Work.
Wise.
Work.
W's. Back and forward. Back and forward. Try to keep your forearms parallel to the ground. Don't let your elbows rise. Don't let your thumbs rise. Parallel the whole way. It takes control to do that.
Work.
Ignore the work. That's the rest. All right, we only got one more round of that. This one's been feeling pretty good. You should feel a lot of heat in the muscles between your shoulder blades. That is all we're touching right now. If you feel like you can get a little bit more work out of yourself right now, what I would do to manufacture that, facilitate that, is get that glute squeeze and raise just your knees about an inch off the ground. Get a little bit of that active raise. Just think about all of that raise coming from your hips, not your low back. So I'm using my butt muscles to raise me up, but I'm not extending my low back in the process.
Push up.
Last set.
Press up. Work. Work.
Last one.
Work.
All right. That does it. Whew, okay. Roll those suckers out. Probably feels pretty good. You can, as we just did this, if you want to offload them a little bit, take your hands, flip them, bring it across, clasp them like that. Just press out. Just press it. You can grab a doorway trim. If you think about where your door slams shut, you got the trim on both sides. If you flip your hands, grab them upside down, and do that kind of motion where you're holding it and you're letting your shoulder blade, not quite you, shoulder blade kind of fall back. You can use that and lean away. You can really stretch those muscles between the shoulder blades. Probably feel really good right about now. I would say pec stretch. You do a stretch where you just put your hands on each side of the doorway and just lean in and let that expand your chest. That'll probably feel really good right now. And lastly, just take your hand overhead, bring it behind your back, grab that, check out my sweaty armpits, lean to a side if you'd like, really pull on that. You probably feel really good right now too. Any stretch, I would say, for this post-workout period, think about 30 seconds of gentle, not tugging on it, but just kind of gentle hold. You really just want the muscles to stay under a consistent stretch for long enough to succumb and relax. They won't relax right away. In fact, if you overstretch them, they will actually more than likely guard at the very least, or the very worst, you could pull on something that doesn't really want to be pulled that hard. So gentle stretching. And yeah, if you need anything in particular from me, if you had any questions about today's workout, want to reach out to me, you can reach me at AGREY. That's my first initial of my first name and my last name at Atlas IPS. That's atlas-ips.com. It's my email. We are also, if you don't know, we are available from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day of the week. We have somebody on our phone lines. We are there. We're waiting for calls. We have some systems set up so that we can do calls. And yeah, we'd love to talk to you and see how we can meet your needs. That number that you can reach us at is 425-551-8862. And again, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Someone will be there to at least answer your question and route you to the right one of our Atlas team members. So again, reach out to me. You can even Facebook message me. I think Fania just Facebook messaged me, so hello. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you Saturday. Stay safe out there.